I'm feeling very moody this March. What is up? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Erica, aka Paperback Girly, and today I'm gonna be talking about some of the books that I probably we'll see whether or not I get to them in the month of March. I'm filming this rather late in the month of March because I am coming off of a little bit of a reading slump slash book slump. I honestly don't even know. I just didn't really end the month of February off with the bang that I really wanted to. So today I'm just going to be talking about my moody March TBR. I'm just going to be mood reading all March. Honestly, I never really have like a set TBR, but I do always take time at the end of the month to reset my TBR cart, put books on my TBR cart that I've been thinking about, and or for example last month I put a bunch of romance books on that TBR cart, and this month I think I'm just going to let myself gravitate to whatever books I want to get to, and we'll see how it all plays out. We'll see how it all plays out. I'm finally settling into the month, and so I think I'm ready to finally film this video, talk about some of the books also that I read in February. If you haven't seen my February monthly reading vlog, you should totally go check that out. It's just a fun little vlog. If you want to go check that out, you totally should. Today I will be kind of just like glancing over all of the books that I read in February because I talked about a lot of them in various vlogs that I had posted throughout February, and I kind of just want to leave them in the past. Like I'm over them. I had some surprising 5-star reads, or one surprising 5-star read in the month of February. Stay tuned for that. I will be going through each of these books from worst to the best. Without further ado, let's get started on this video that was really corny. I don't want to talk about any of these books in a negative connotation, so whenever I say worst to best, I just mean like least enjoyed to most enjoyed. Darling Venom was a surprising read, honestly. Check the trigger warnings for this thing because it just gets really bizarre. I enjoyed this book and I think I had high hopes for it, but I think I was expecting a way different book than what I got. I believe I rated this at 3 stars, and I think I'm gonna keep it that way, but I think it's a really taboo story and it didn't tickle my fancy. This book was great. I really do like this story. There's a lot that this particular series packs that I, really do enjoy and gravitate towards. But this one, it just like wasn't my absolute favorite. There's some things in here that I was just not expecting. If you know, you know. Her therapist, whoa. It was just sort of like bridging the gap, I want to say, between the Addicted and the Calloway Sisters series. The next book is Kiss the Sky, and I'm really hyped to get into that. I am really obsessed with Daisy, and then the fact that the next book is going to be about Rose and Connor. I love their little dynamic. Love it. I really did enjoy this book. I think I rated it 4.5, either 4 or 4.5 stars. It was a longer book, but I enjoyed my reading experience. Third on my list today would be Magnolia Parks. Even though I really did like this book and it was definitely a guilty pleasure read, I would say that there's not really much going on in this book. Like it's not very plot heavy, it's just very character driven, very much centered around a toxic romance and this just like dynamic between these two characters, how they navigate it with all of their friend groups. I love the vibes that this gives. I love the story. I rated this 4.5 stars. I really did like this book. I think I enjoyed some other books just slightly better. Then I read Finley Donovan is Killing It, and I rated this a 4 out of 5 stars, 4.5 out of 5 stars actually. And I immediately ran to go pick up the second copy of this book. You can hear all of my thoughts about this in my February reading vlog, but I like this book. I can't wait to continue on in the series, and I'm happy I finally picked it up after all these months of having it on my TBR. Finally read A Court of Thorns and Roses, which really genuinely surprised me. I have an entire reading vlog on my channel if you want to go hear my in-depth review and thoughts. I would say that I really did enjoy this book. As someone that doesn't really particularly gravitate towards fantasy, this gave me everything that I wanted in terms of the romance, plus allowed me to be a little bit more open-minded, or encouraged me to be a little bit open-minded towards the genre of fantasy. And I'm really excited to pick up A Court of Mist and Fury, which I think I'll be picking up rather soon. The best book that I read this month had to have been Twisted Hate. I absolutely devoured this book. Despite not initially enjoying the first 2 books in the series, this book did everything for me. 5 out of 5 stars. I think I actually sort of tweaked my rating and put 4.75 out of 5 stars. I like to be picky, as do most people with my 5-star ratings. This book was absolutely amazing. The miscommunication at the end was something that kind of knocked it down 0.25 stars. For the most part, this book was utterly amazing and I ate it up. I got to 7 books last month. Another book that I didn't talk about right now was an audiobook on Kindle Unlimited. It's called The Chemistry of Love by Soraya Wilson. I really did like that book. I rated it 3 out of 5 stars. It was just like a cute sort of closed door scientific romance and I liked it. It was cute. It was this nice little switch up. Those are the 6 books that I got to in February. As you can see, I did not get to as many books as I typically do. I typically read about 7 to 8 books a month, sometimes more, sometimes less. In January, I read 12 books, so to have come off that high of reading 12 books in January and only reading 6 to 7 books in February, it was a little bit of a morale knocker. It sort of put me into a little bit of a book slump, and I think it was just because I was reading such long books and some of the books that I was reading I just wasn't super invested in, and so I just found myself gravitating towards doing different things. I do want to talk about the books that I might get to in the month of March. I'm feeling very moody this March, okay? I'm just going to be reading whatever I gravitate towards, whatever my hand sort of reaches to grab, whatever I sort of add to my cart, whatever it may be. We're gonna read it this month and we're just gonna see where that takes us. It'll be nice to just have a lax month of reading, especially leading into the spring season. I'm gonna go ahead and start off on Kindle. I have a couple books on my Kindle and the first one is Mile High by Liz Tomford. I've been hearing a lot everywhere about the Windy City series, talking about this particular book and the series. Like, I'm really interested to get into it. I'm excited to see what that's like. This is also on my Kindle, but I also happen to have the physical copy. I do want to read Flawless and Heartless, which are the first 2 books. I'm not really sure. Oh, the Chestnut Something City. The Something City series. I think that these covers are utterly gorgeous, so I want to be able to read them. This is also on Kindle, so I'll be able to read it whenever I'm not at home with the physical copy. Currently on Libby, I'm listening to the audiobook for The Fine Print, but it is also on my Kindle as well. So that is another book, especially since it's on audiobook. I think that having that different medium through which to consume a book will sort of kind of help me get out of that book slump or that reading slump feeling that I'm having. Lastly, on my Kindle, I have this book by Anna Huang. It's called If We Ever Meet Again. I just kind of read the synopsis the other night while I was in bed and I just added it to my library. So it's on my Kindle. If I get to it this month, we will talk more about it in my monthly wrap up at the end of the month. Moving on to some physical books that I have in person. I have just a couple ideas. I literally sat down the other day and wrote all the books that I either have like started the series for, want to get to, like different things, and I had so many different books. I only grabbed just a handful of the books today because I just know having such an overwhelming stack of books that I just to choose from, I just know it won't work out well this month. I don't have any particular reading vlogs planned just yet. I have some that I have already filmed that I really need to get to, need to edit, and that I want to post. So I think I just want to focus on editing those and getting those out before adding more to the stack. I may or may not do a couple reading vlogs on the next few books that I talk about today. The first one being A Court of Mist and Fury. This is the second book in the ACOTAR series and it is a big old thick old thing, okay? It's a green book. I think it would be cute to read this green book in the month of March. As you can see, I got my green little Nike crew neck on, so you know I'm with the vibes. My bed has a little green blanket on it. It's just a vibe. I'm really excited to see how the story continues with this book. Rysand is a character that I'm just not sure how I feel about, and I think that I've heard multiple times that we get a lot more of him in this book, a lot more of that love triangle and so on and so forth. And I've heard that this is one of the best books in the series. The next book is Daisy Hates. I'm not sure if this one has a whole title. It literally just says Daisy Hates, but this is the second book in the Magnolia Parks universe. I read Magnolia Parks in February and would like to continue on in the series. It's definitely a guilty pleasure read. I do think that this book will also be entertaining. That's purely why I'm reading it, is entertainment. I heard that this one isn't as good as Magnolia Parks. The Daisy Hates storyline isn't as entertaining or intriguing as the Magnolia Parks storyline, but I'm interested nonetheless. Kiss the Sky is the first book in the Calloway Sisters series and the fourth book in the recommended reading order in the Addicted Calloway Sisters series. Boy, when I tell you I'm so excited to get to this book, I genuinely love the banter between Connor and Rose, and I'm super excited to just be able to actually get a glimpse inside their actual heads. We see them and we get little glimpses and scenes with them in Lily and Lo's books, the Addicted books, but we're honestly just getting like the outside looking in, and I would love to know what it is inside out. But I'm really excited to get to this book, and I can totally see myself gravitating towards it. I feel like every time I pick up an Addicted Calloway Sisters series book, I eat it up. I eat it up right away. It takes no time, 48 hours. 72 hours most, so we will see how all that works out this month. I also have a copy of The Brutal Prince. This is by Sophie Lark, and this is the first in a series. I saw this on Alexa Ray's channel, and she actually really liked it, and she has been getting into dark romances recently, and I personally think I want to take a little dabble in dark romances myself, so I did pick up this book. This is The Brutal Prince, and this is a mafia romance as well, so it's a dark mafia romance, and I'm very intrigued to kind of get into it. Whenever I went to the Meet Cute bookshop, I also picked up this copy of Longshot. This is by Kennedy Ryan. This is like one of her sports romances. This one centers around, I think, NBA players. I am a former basketball player myself, so I do think I have a slight connection to basketball sports romances, and so I'm very interested to see what this one is like. Plus, I don't think I've read any Kennedy Ryan books yet, and I'm very intrigued to see if I enjoy her writing style. 7 Days in June is a book that I've literally seen everywhere, on everyone's videos, on everyone's bookstagrams, on everyone's TikToks, book talk, whatever. Like, I have seen this book everywhere. I know someone in real life that I used to work with that had read this book and rated it 5 out of 5 stars. I'm very interested to see what this book is like. It's written by Black authors, so I am excited to add Tia Williams to my repertoire. I'm intrigued to see what this book is about. I hear that like they're both authors, and like she writes erotica and he writes like thrillers, and like they've been writing about each other in their novels. I don't know. I like to go into books blindly, so I don't really know too much about this, but I know that I've heard great things about it. The last book is Butterfly by Ashley Antoinette. This is also written by another Black author, and I want to just start reading a bit more of Black literature. I have some new books on my shelves that I've been buying at the bookstore, so hopefully I'll be able to do a Black author rec video soon. Cover is beautiful, and it seems like it's about a toxic love story, which I don't know why I gravitate towards, but I just, for some reason, it's just my cup of tea. This is Ashley Antoinette's Butterfly, and I am adding it to my moody TBR. That is actually it for today's video. Those are all the books that are on my sort of radar. Is that gonna change throughout the month? Absolutely. There's absolutely no way, with the way that I've been feeling, that this will look like my end of the month wrap up. But I appreciate you for joining me in today's video. If you're feeling a little moody too, and if you're feeling like a set TBR is just too much structure for you right now, comment down below. Let's link up. Let me know what you are planning on reading this month, or thinking about reading this month, starting but not finishing this month. Like, what are your reading plans? I'm dying to know. I just feel like I've just been noticing that a lot of the creators I've been watching, or even like the newer creators I've been watching, I've just felt this sort of eerie, book slumpy fog, and I just want to know, am I the only one? Because I know I'm not, but it would make me feel better if you commented down below and let me know I wasn't alone. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. It's your girl Erica, aka Paperback Girly, and I will see you guys in my next video.